Hi, we're going to talk a little bit today about alphabet soup in St. Louis, the YWCA and WSIE. Come on back. Hi, I'm Robin Boyce for City Corner. Thank you for joining us today. We've got a great show ahead of us, and with me right now in the studio is Dr. Oh my God, my girl is in the studio with me. I'm so excited about her. Dr. Cheryl Watkins-Moore, who is actually a physician by training. And the last time I talked with Dr. Cheryl, she was working with BioSTL. Now she is the head of the YWCA Metro here in St. Louis, which I am so excited about, Dr. Cheryl. Congratulations to you, lady.
Thank you.
This is an exciting move. We all know that the YWCA has been an intricate organization that has a lot to do more with civil rights or exercising civil rights for women.
Correct.
Rather than being about the body, which is what the YMCA is about. So tell us first about your new move, some of the things you'd like to see happen, and congratulations to you again, ma'am.
Robin, it's so good to be with you again. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been.
That you and I connected, but I am thrilled to have joined the YWCA. I said this in an announcement. It's phenomenal when your passion and your job actually match. And I really am enjoying the time that I'm spending over at the YWCA. And it was a move that I was really interested in looking at after BioSTL. What would be my next opportunity? And I've been a board member with the YWCA several years back. But I am passionate, as you know, about supporting women, supporting minorities, especially as we are trying to grow and support our communities here in the St. Louis market. So joined in early July, and have been here now, I think it's like 4 months now. But we are looking to live our mission of, one of it is eliminating racism, but the other is empowering women. And the way that I think we can do this is by decreasing the wealth gap and being able to put together programming that empowers women from an economic development standpoint.
Excellent. That's something I haven't heard coming from the YWCA. More civil rights and more women's rights kinds of things. But from an economic development point of view, that is so important because that makes a woman have the ability to stand on her own 2 feet and really make a difference in a community.
And you're right, it's about sustainability. I mean, we have programs that there's two sides of our agency. Even though we're one agency, we are supporting women in different ways. You know, Head Start is one of our largest areas that's within the agency. And we're one of the largest Head Starts in the city and county. We're the second largest in the state, and the second largest across 4 states.
How have things been going with Head Start? I would say in the middle of this pandemic at this point.
Yes. So Stacy Johnson, who is our lead on Head Start, she's our chief program officer. The Head Start has, I think, been able to maintain and just thrive during COVID because of the innovative ways that they looked at how do we keep our kids engaged? How do we keep them safe? And actually, Stacy was just recognized as Missouri's Administrator of the Year for Head Start.
Excellent.
So, I mean, our programming is solid. We are we have focus on STEAM learning for our children.
Excellent.
We have metrics that show the efficacy that we're achieving with the little ones from 3 to 5 years of age.
I understand that the YWCA Head Starts have really, really shot our kids ahead in a whole lot of trajectories from past studies over the years.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Overall, Head Start, the statistics show that if a child is in Head Start, they have a higher propensity to succeed because Head Start was primarily, as you know, focused on children in poverty. We just had our annual retreat with our board, and we were able to bring on one of our graduates from Head Start who started in Head Start in our program. went on to Tufts University on a full scholarship.
Wow.
And is now an employee at Instagram. And she was able to come back and really talk about this is the legacy that we're laying, is that now she's broken the poverty cycle with her being able to now achieve and be successful with her career.
Because of the Head Start here in St. Louis with the YWCA.
Absolutely.
It's making a big difference.
Absolutely.
Huge difference. Now, other programs that you have available through the YWCA.
Yes. Well, we also, on the other side of our agency, we support women in crisis. So domestic violence, sexual assault, chronic homelessness.
That's right.
We have the largest contract with the city with regards to housing, rapid rehousing for women. So if women are in situations where they have to flee their home, we can immediately put them into housing with them and their children. Also, we have housing available for women who suffer with chronic homelessness. And I think what's the beauty around the programs that we offer and the services that we offer, domestic violence, sexual assault, we have the largest program here in the city and county. We partner with the police departments. We also partner with the hospital. So we're the first advocate that shows up at the hospital for a woman that has gone through, a crisis situation.
So you have wraparound services then?
We have wraparound
contained
services.
with reference to someone calling and saying, in a crisis, I have got to get out of this home, get away from this person. I have 3 kids.
Right.
I don't have anywhere to go. So you have services that are wrapping
Yeah,
around
and
helping
it's
that
not
individual?
Absolutely. It's not just the housing, but it's also the pieces that are barriers to women. If you need childcare, Head Start. You need transportation. We can help out with that, and we provide vouchers for that. Housing. We have apartments all over the city where we can house women in these in facilities. Grocery, utility reimbursement or assistance. We provide that because those are all the things that are integral to a woman being able to become sustainable. If you can help out with getting all of these services to that woman and put her on a path, because through our WESP, which is our Women's Empowerment Partnership Program, now that we have her in a stable environment, we're able to, be able to support her through career support, financial literacy support. And I hate using literacy because it's a term, as I always say, people of color, we know how to make a dollar holler.
Yeah, we do.
It's not about literacy. It's about access to assets.
Exactly. We know how to take those lemons and turn them into lemonade.
Absolutely. Wow. So we are broadening some of the programming that we already offer, and we'll be rolling out a program that is going to be geared towards how do we take women and be able to create not just credit worthiness, so that they're able to create a credit history. So we have some exciting programs that we're about to unveil going into the next year.
So you are going to be working, are there any particular financial institutions that you'll be working with to help with that financial literacy? I know you hate the word literacy, but a lot of us really don't understand that. It took me a while to get there. Okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I finally did, but you're going to have people on board to help women understand financing.
Absolutely, because if you don't understand the banking system, if you don't understand, how these systems work with regards to, credit, if you don't understand how you can leverage what your ability in paying your rent, not just giving a check, having maybe a card or an asset through either a credit card or a banking card that you can utilize to pay these utilities, rent, things like that. You start to build your own credit worthiness. So we're working with actually a Black fintech bank out of New York.
Really?
Where we are creating a card, it's called the Respect Card, and it's an opportunity for those that are unbanked or underbanked to be able to have access to on deposit type of banking opportunity. So we'll probably be rolling that out very shortly, especially for our clients and also for our staff.
Yes.
So I'm a big proponent of we have to take care of home.
Yes.
As well as our community as well. So I'm really excited about creating that partnership with a fintech company and potentially creating another opportunity with a local banking institution as well.
And you've got some here that are really good about teaching people about their finances. We've got a couple of credit unions that do that here.
Absolutely.
That really work with individuals with second chances. And
absolutely,
there's one in particular that I like the way in which they open up a certain time of the day because they know that demographic
absolutely
is not up at 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And they need to be there sometime maybe after 2. So this one opens at noon.
Right.
And closes later on a day and on a Saturday, which is what you really need. And that was smart for them to think about that.
Understanding your customer.
Understanding.
This goes back to understanding your customer. I'm a marketing. That's my mark. Once I finished medical school and I practiced, I went back and got my MBA from Northwestern.
Right. Now, okay, I did not know that about you the first time I interviewed. Tell me about the physician part. I didn't know you were a doctor. I thought it was like after the MBA, you went and got your doctorate in business or something like that. But wow, so a physician, what kind of medicine did you practice?
Podiatric medicine, so everything hip down. I actually practiced with orthopod. So my practice was a surgical-based practice.
Okay.
I practiced in Chicago. And then, like I said, 3 years I loved. I was teaching at a residency program at the hospital as well. And then decided, you know what? I'm so interested in healthcare. Healthcare was changing at the time.
Yes.
And I was always the one sitting in the doctor's lounge reading the business journals.
Okay.
So that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to go back and get my MBA.
After all the doctor school, you went back and got you. I got my MBA and I went like, oh my, I don't have to do any more school ever. After that, okay.
Well, that's how I am. I love learning. But I have said after that, I will go back and I love participating in classroom. I'm never taking another test. That's over, okay?
It was a lot. I'm like, what?
That
so
is
you
over.
did the physician, you became a doctor, and went and got an MBA. When I met you, it was BioSTL, which was all about startup businesses and things like that. But you've always had a heart for the community.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you wound up in that passion of a job that's going to make a difference for you to make a difference in the community.
Absolutely. And I think I bring all of the experiences I've had from the corporate side. My last corporate job, I was vice president, general manager for Merck on the East Coast. I ran a $100 million business there.
So
then came back to St. Louis and got engaged with the startup community. I've started 4 companies. So having that opportunity to understand, if we're going to really set women onto a sustainable path, we need to talk about decreasing the wealth gap, and that's through either workforce development or entrepreneurship.
Whatever we can do to help you with that.
Absolutely.
I thank you so much. We've got to have you back on to talk more and bring some of those graduates on again from the Head Start program to talk with us about what they're doing in their careers. We appreciate you so much. Call on us anytime, Dr. Cheryl.
Thank you, Robin.
To do something with reference to whatever it is you're doing.
I love coming on here, and thank you again for the opportunity to join you today.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. And we thank you for sitting with us today to talk more about the YWCA. We've got more information coming up next about WSIE. Come on back.
There's so many reasons to love St. Louis, you can't pick just one. from the arts, architecture, and culture. An all-new development, including the Cortex Community Center. And you're never too far from great music and entertainment.
So come and experience St. Louis.
Hi, I'm Robin Boyce for City Corner. Welcome on back. And in the studios with me right now is a good friend of mine and my new boss. As a matter of fact, with full disclosure, Mr. Jason Church, who is now general manager of WSIE, an awesome station that is the jazz station in St. Louis. And Jason is here to talk with us about WSIE, its history, how long it's been around, some of the things that the station has coming up, and there's a lot of good stuff that's about to happen, along with funk, blues, jazz, soul, rock, and brass. As you see on your shirt there, I think it's great. It's great. How you doing, Jason?
Doing great, Robin. Thank you so much for having me in today.
It's
been a ride over the past year and a half, let me tell you.
Yeah, it has been. It really has been. You came on board with WSIE about 2018, about 3 years or so ago.
Yes.
And we met formally with the commercial jazz station at the time when I moved back to the St. Louis area, 106.5, which was WSSM Smooth Jazz. And then, of course, everything changed there, went to another format. But we all stayed together, you, me, Ricky, Debbie, all of the folks who were involved, and some of the local musicians. We stuck together and continued to do jazz here in the St. Louis area. And one day, Jason got a job as general manager for WSIE, a historical heritage station that's on the campus of SIUE.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long trek to get there over the years between 106.5, working on various internet stations, HD radio stations.
I remember it.
I've always been able to keep my toe in the jazz world, and it's a passion of mine. You know, I've been listening to this music since I was a teenager here in town, back in the days of KNJZ and listening to WSIE growing up.
Wow.
And it's just an honor to be a part of it, and I'm so excited to be able to have this opportunity to help kind of reshape the radio station and bring in more listeners.
Exactly. Now, WSIE is located on the campus of Southern Illinois at Edwardsville. It's been around 50 years. Tell us a little bit about that WSIE history.
So WSIE first went on the air in September of 1970. They started out as kind of an NPR format, block format news station. And they stuck with that for a few years, but then in the early 80s, they made the decision to swap over to an all jazz, big band, traditional jazz format. Okay. And they stuck with that for years and had a really great run with it.
Now they promoted a lot of the Mississippi River festivals at that time that were held on the campus over there, right?
Yeah, that was the great part about the Mississippi River Festival is it was an all-inclusive festival that they put on out there. I mean, you're talking anybody from The Who to Chuck Mangione or, the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, yeah. A lot of great acts out there. And it was something that a lot of people really hold dear to. You know, even to this day, they just celebrated their 50th anniversary from the original Mississippi River Festival. And, it's just one of those things that is a real badge of honor over at the university and at the radio station as well.
Most definitely. Now, when it comes to history, some of the old folks that were on the air back in the day, Leo Cheers,
Laverne Holiday.
Wow.
You had Ross Gentili that used to hold my position years ago. A lot of really, really big names in the St. Louis, not only in the jazz scene, but also the music scene here at this radio station.
This is good. Tell us about the local jazz scene and how you've been supporting it.
Yeah, over the years, it is my honor to be able to not only, feature the music of our regional musicians. One of the things that I wanted to say is Brian Owens recently at Music at the Intersection, which was a festival held a couple of months ago in Grand Center.
It was great.
He actually said something very insightful. He said, we're not local musicians. We're musicians that are based in St. Louis, we tour everywhere.
Yeah,
We're
they
national
do.
musicians.
And they do.
And
yeah.
that's really important to keep in mind, because a lot of folks, when you think of local musicians, they think of, I might go check them out someday. But, in this case, you want to get out there and see these folks while they're here. Who knows how long it's going to be before they take off and go to another town or what have you. But we have a rich, rich blend of musicians here. And it's just great to be able to bring that to folks on the station.
You've forged a really good relationship with the Miles Davis folks over there in East St. Louis. Tell us a little bit about that.
House of Miles, Lauren Parks over there, they are doing a fantastic job. Their mission is to revamp Miles Davis's childhood home, and they've turned it into a museum celebrating his music and life. And they do such a fantastic job over there. They bring in groups, they bring in, individuals, small groups, big groups, and just, showing folks what it's like over there and what kind of contributions Miles Davis had, not only to the jazz world, but also to the music world in general.
Tell us, what is different about WSIE's format? There's no information or an information type station, but we are an NPR station.
Yeah.
People need to know that, and it's community based. What's special about the format and in the sense of the kind of music that you program for it at this time?
Yeah, long-term listeners have noticed there's been a bit of a change over the past few years. In 2016, my predecessor had made the decision to update the format just a little bit to help expand that audience, bring the music to more folks. And in doing so, we went from that old school traditional big band only sound to a little bit more inclusive. We do some more of the contemporary, some folks would call it smooth jazz.
Okay.
We do some R&B, some light R&B, some blues music and things like that. And we expand beyond that too. We do more of a programming based on mood than a format. So, if it sounds like it would fit, we'll probably play it on there.
It's probably one of those stations that is the only kind that's still available in St. Louis, because it seems like those stations that were that kind of station back in the day, where you got the easy listening music, they're not doing it anymore. They're more or less they're playing top 40 music now.
More active formats,
Yeah.
This is nice because it's something that people can put on not only to listen to intently if they're big fans of the music, but
Yes.
also something you can throw on in the background at a dinner party or, a birthday or at work, for example.
Right, because this station doesn't play a lot of commercials. That's one of the biggest selling points for it at this point in the game. A lot of folks like the fact that there are not a whole bunch of commercials being played within an hour's time or for it to stop sets. And on top of that, they're not intrusive kinds of commercial spots then.
Right, exactly. We limit ourselves to underwriter messaging twice per hour, a total of a minute apiece, and that allows for a lot more music and a lot less interruption, which is a great thing for our listeners.
Talk to the listeners for WSIE and what it is you would like for them to do when it comes to embracing the radio station and helping it to stay on the air, because it costs dollars to keep a station like WSIE up and rolling. People just think, like when 106.5 went away, everyone was so upset.
Oh, yeah.
And they were crying about it. And what happened?
Everywhere I go, people would talk about it and go, hey, what can we do? Can I write you a check? What can we do to bring it back?
So what can people do to keep WSIE going in that direction of staying on the air and playing the really good music that they get a chance to hear now?
Sure. Well, just to give you a bit of history, between the Illinois budget impasse a few years back and
Yes.
then, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic, we had a lot of setbacks financially, and we are currently in the rebuilding phase with the radio station. And so there's a few ways that folks can help out, not only letting your folks know, whether your friends or family that might love this music to tune in and listen, but also monetary contributions, tax-deductible donations. We're able to accept those. We also apply for grants. And we also have an opportunity for local businesses to come on as underwriting partners to help sustain this radio station and help us grow into the future.
It's a community radio station, and people need to understand that. It's their station.
Yeah,
And
that's exactly right.
that they should support it. What do you hope to see futuristically happen for this station? And I guess maybe before you answer that, tell us about student involvement, because it is on a campus and students are involved.
Yes, we do have student volunteers that come in to help learn the craft of broadcasting. They get, to experience various aspects of the radio business and the communications business in general. They can come in and do on-air shifts. They can come in and run the board, help out on sales and marketing, internet, social media management, things like that. So we definitely have a big part of our mission is to make sure that these students are developed and ready to hit the ground running when they get out and graduate.
You also have, and I've gotten a chance to meet some of the former announcers for Cougar basketball over there. You also have Cougar basketball that comes on over there, and I think you do baseball and some other sports type events on the radio station as well.
Yes, yeah, we do air Cougars men's and women's basketball. We have men's and women's baseball in the spring. And then we had been airing Edwardsville Tigers football, the local high school, on Friday nights for a while. That went away, unfortunately, during COVID, but we're hoping to get that back on the air again.
Yeah, we really got to get that involvement back. We talk about SIUE being a part of Edwardsville, but it is a St. Louis station?
Yes, that's exactly right. We serve the entirety of the St. Louis metro area. We're a 50,000 watt station, even though we're based over there at SIUE. You can pick up the station very nicely out through the 270 corridor right now, and we are working on a few tricks to help increase that signal, hopefully in the near future.
Oh, they're going to boost it up a little bit.
We have some plans in the works.
That's really a good thing. Futuristically, that's probably one of the futuristic things that you're talking about. Where would you like to see WSIE, say, in 5 years?
I would like to see us in a growth mode. Right now, as I had mentioned, we're in a rebuilding mode. We're trying to make sure that we can get everything taken care of that we have right now. But as we look toward the future, I would like to make sure that, we can bring on some more folks to help spread the good word around the city, that we could get out there and be a bigger part of the local community, make sure that we're out there doing our stage announcements and talking to folks in person, being parts of these festivals. And increasing the library that we have here on the station. That's one of the things about it being a community-focused radio station, is we want to hear from our listeners. We want to hear what they'd like to hear. And we're all about making sure that we can get all that music put on there to make people happy.
It sounds like a station that has at least 5 different generations of music on the air. I mean, how do you do that? But, really to mix it all together and it still sound just right for an individual to say, I can stay and I can stick with this and not move somewhere else on the radio dial.
It's because it's just darn good music. That's the whole key to it. You're listening through, and if it sounds like it fits, we've got it in there.
And you keep it in there. Jason, I want to thank you so much for coming on board and talk with me today about WSIE. That is a station that's near and dear to my heart as well. And we're going to see some good things come out of WSIE really soon. Thank you so much. Thank you. And people can definitely tune in to WSIE 88.7 The Sound and go to WSIE.com, make those donations. And hey, everybody, I appreciate you for coming on board today and checking us out here on City Corner. I'm Robin Boyce. We'll see you the next time.